You're standing in your driveway. Your car keys are on the roof of your car, just out of reach. It's a tiny, insignificant problem. But in a world of tiny, insignificant problems, wouldn't it be great to have one ultimate, universal solution? So, we built it. A handheld remote control, not for your TV, for gravity. A simple device that creates a localized, directional, anti-gravity field. Point, click, and the laws of physics politely get out of your way. For a week, it was the greatest invention in human history. Then we aimed it at the sky, and we discovered why some things are best left heavy. What happens when your greatest convenience becomes the trigger for a planetary apocalypse? Act 1. The Universal Remote. At first, it was a party. We weren't just solving problems. We were creating a new form of art. Coffee cups that floated gently to your lips, the ability to win any basketball game by discreetly lowering the gravitational pull on the ball just as it leaves your hands. It was the ultimate cheat code for existence. The gravity remote, as we called it, was simple. A low-power beam for small objects and a high-power, long-range mode for, well, we weren't sure what for, but it had a cool-looking button. One night, I was trying to get my drone out of a tree. I aimed the remote, but in the dark, I missed the drone. The beam shot past it, into the night sky, and directly in its path was the moon. I'd accidentally left it on the high-power, long-range setting. The moon didn't fly away, it didn't explode, it just lurched. The entire, massive celestial body twisted in the sky with a sickening, silent groan, and then it settled. We were no longer looking at the familiar, gentle man in the moon. We were looking at its face before it had put on its makeup. We had flipped the moon, and were now staring at its far side. Act 2. The Land Tsunami. We always called it the dark side of the moon. That was a lie. It's not dark, it's just ugly. For 4.5 billion years, the near side has been smoothed and shaped by Earth's gentle, constant gravitational pull. The far side, however, has been facing the rest of the solar system. It has been the shield, the punching bag for every stray asteroid and rogue comet since the dawn of time. It wasn't a smooth, balanced sphere. It was a lumpy, chaotic, gravitationally unbalanced mess. And we had just pointed it directly at Earth. Our friend, a stickman physicist, would explain the horror with one word: tides. We think of tides as water, but gravity affects everything. The lumpy gravity of the moon's far side didn't just create tidal waves in the ocean, it created them in the land. The continents began to buckle. The Himalayas began to ripple like a disturbed carpet. A wave of solid rock, 1,000 feet high, traveling at hundreds of miles per hour, erupted from the Pacific Ocean and scoured North America from the map. This wasn't an earthquake. This was the planet itself becoming seasick. The Earth's crust, the very ground beneath our feet, was being kneaded like dough by the chaotic, unpredictable gravity of the moon's lumpy face. It was the end of the world, orchestrated by the ugliest rock in the sky. Act 3. The Great Unbalancing. But the Earth's suffering was temporary, because we had made a far more fundamental mistake. A spinning top that is perfectly balanced can spin for a long time, but a spinning top that is lumpy and unbalanced, it wobbles violently. We hadn't just flipped the moon, we had fundamentally unbalanced it. Its smooth, stable rotation was gone, replaced by a chaotic death wobble. And a wobbling satellite does not stay in orbit. The moon's orbit began to decay, but it didn't fall towards us. The wobble was so violent that it began to tear itself apart. The moon, our silent, eternal companion, our shield and our nightlight, began to disintegrate under the force of its own chaotic spin. Over the course of a single, terrifying week, the moon crumbled, first into giant, continent-sized chunks, and then into smaller and smaller pieces, until it was nothing but a cloud of dust and rock. And that cloud, bound by Earth's gravity, slowly, beautifully, spread itself out into a perfect, shimmering ring system. We had done it. We had committed planetary deicide. We had traded our moon, our stability, and our entire civilization for a single, stupid, convenient gadget. The land tide stopped. The earth fell silent, and the few irradiated survivors crawling from their bunkers looked up at the night sky. It was breathtakingly beautiful. We finally had a sky worth looking at. There was just no one left to see it.